The multi-state drop-down gadget is mainly used with multi-state outputs and values, but as we'll see, it also has other uses. For this demonstration, I've set up a multi-state value object with 5 different text strings in the state text property. This gadget is relatively simple. It has the standard background, label, and options tab. On the drop-down tab, there are just a handful of settings, including the position of the text within the gadget, left, right, or centered. The highlight color shows which item the mouse is currently over. And then it has the standard font size, color, and position fine-tuning settings. To use it, just click to display the list of items, then click on your choice. Escape may be pressed to cancel and keep the existing value. Now let's look at the Values tab. Normally, when used with a multi-state object, it can read the state text property to get the names of the items, as we are doing here. The other option is to supply custom values, and this opens it up for uses other than with multi-state objects. To demonstrate this, I'll attach the setPoint analog value object instead of a multi-state object. I also want to drop the setPoint down as a text label so we can see the numeric value. Now, since the setPoint does not have a state text property, we will need to supply custom values. You do this by entering a value followed by a colon, then a text string that the user will see as the choice name for that value. I'll just add one here for each season. Now, when the user selects a season, it will change the setPoint to the value associated with it. The values do not have to be whole numbers, but keep in mind that the way computers round numbers can sometimes cause visual issues. It is best to keep it to 1 decimal place if possible. The MultiStateSelector performs the same functions as the MultiStateDropDown, including the ability to use custom values. But visually, it is very different. It displays all of the choices at the same time and requires moving a selector to change the value. Note that this will limit its use to multi-state objects that don't have too many options to fit inside the gadget. It has the same values, background, label, and options tab as the multi-state dropdown, but does add a caption tab to configure the caption. The Selector tab has several settings to customize the look of the selector, including the position of the selector relative to the caption, either above or below it. The height percent sets how much space the selector takes up vertically. The remaining space is used for the caption. The position of the thumb, the knob that is used to move the selector, can be set to either the left or right side. And the size of the thumb may also be changed. As well as the thumb color. The indicator is the small line on the thumb that points to the current selection. As always, the font size and color may be changed. The tick length controls the length of the lines that separate the text strings from the thumb. Their color may also be changed. And the position of the selector may be fine-tuned. The MultiStateSelector is a good choice when screen space is not too limited and the number of choices is not high. For this demonstration, I have changed the background to a lighter color. The shape gadget is used on graphic displays mainly as a decorative element. The default shape is a simple horizontal line. Other shapes available include a vertical line, diagonal lines, and several other simple shapes. It is also possible to make custom shapes. We'll use the capsule shape for now. There are two unique tabs of settings: Shape and Appearance. Several fill styles are available, including linear and radial gradients, a solid color, or transparent. I'll set the starting and ending gradient colors to make it more visible. The direction option tells it to fill the shape with a gradient, going from the starting color to the ending color, while moving towards the direction selected. The different direction options sometimes make a very noticeable difference. Some are more subtle, depending on the shape and its size. The radial gradient starts at the location specified in the direction settings and radiates outward in all directions. The radius of the gradient can be adjusted to make the effect stronger or weaker. An effect can be added to the border. The floating effect gives it the appearance of floating above the rest of the graphic display, while the glowing effect gives it the appearance of giving off light. An outline can also be added to make the edges more distinct. While the shape object does not require it, a property can be attached to it, and the object will be viewed when it is clicked, just like with other gadgets. Unlike other gadgets, this option defaults to Off with the shape gadget and must be turned on to use. Now let's take a look at making custom shapes. There are two types of shapes: paths and polygons. A path is just a series of lines that are drawn and not filled in. You tell it what to draw with pairs of coordinates that are the percentage to the right and the percentage down. So the upper left is 0, 0. The upper right is 100, 0. The bottom left is 0, 100. And the bottom right is 100, 100. So to draw this X, we tell it to start at 0, 0. Draw a line to 100, 100. And then the @ sign tells it to move without drawing to 100, 0. And then finally draw to 0, 100, completing the X shape. Custom shapes can also be rotated up to 359 degrees. Polygons work exactly as paths, with one exception. After the last coordinate, they are automatically closed back to the first coordinate and then filled with the settings on the Appearance tab. Notice that the coordinates given start at 50, 0, then draw to 100, 100, then to 0, 100. The shape then automatically draws a line back to 50, 0 and fills the shape. Custom polygon shapes can also be rotated up to 359 degrees.